What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of U4 Panty and Stocking Season 2. This is episode 7, and with me, as always, I have Blue Spade.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't think that the Angel brothers were going to be back this soon, but apparently, yeah, they did play a role in, I guess, in the first half of the episode. Um, so what happens is Garterbelt, Brief, and that little, whatever that little green thing is, um, well, they decide to, just leave the house after Penny stalking and the Demon Sisters, like, well, I mean, they were just pestering them to hell to the point where Gardevel and everybody else couldn't take it anymore. So they decide to just go off on their own and I guess take a trip to like this Las Vegas spoof town called Casino City. And then and then they come across, the Angel brothers. Supposedly I guess you could say they were bonding in a way. And then, of course, by the time they get to Casino City, like pretty much all hell obviously breaks loose once a ghost attacks, the attack, like a kaiju sized ghost, like attacks the entire city, and the Angel Brothers just pretty much don't take part in fighting it because they're on quote unquote break.
Yeah, and of course, this is when, like, Panty's Stocking and the Scanty and D-Sock show up to deal with it, which they fairly easily dispatch the kaiju ghost. But I guess this makes Brief and Garterbelt sort of I guess sort of like maybe reevaluate their opinions of Panty and Stocking. I guess they're
Well,
like, well,
I don't think they
or what?
reevaluated. They were more or less like this, just shot down by the
Well,
Angel
yeah. I
Brothers.
mean, I guess they figure like it's better to be like sort of be on their side than be friends with the Angel Brothers.
Yeah. So so yeah, they just pretty much like just go back with the Angel sisters and the Angel and Demon sisters, uh, pretty much back home, while at the same time they're once again being like pestered to do stuff for them, and then and of course I guess things are just gonna go back to normal for them, and then of course the
Mm.
next episode is obviously a spoof of The Longest Yard, um, with I guess for whatever reason both Penny and Stocking and the Demon Sisters are arrested for I don't know what the actual official reason
It,
for them being
it's
arrested.
just like, yeah, well, I mean, the series just says it's for like bitch activities or whatever they were saying, and it's just some stupid reason basically. It's pretty much just an excuse for the whole skit to happen, I guess. Um, but yeah, so of course, conveniently, the Demon Sisters are also locked up in prison, and uh, Panty and Stocking. Well, Stocking tries to. Well, at first they try to escape by, of course, using the typical like just sort of like digging through the wall with a spoon. And they start making a hole in the wall, but of course the next morning they find the hole has been covered up. So they immediately assume it's the Demon Sisters that did it. And they try to like, and the Demon Sisters say that they didn't have anything to do with that. And of course there's kind of of course it's like a sex joke, them like, I didn't fill your hole sort of thing. But yeah, then eventually, you kind of like, yeah, like you said, I was a parody of The Longest Yard. Panty and Stocking. Well, they, I don't think they come up with this on their own because, uh, Panty basically like is, I guess, deprived of sex, so she tries to sneak out one night, and I guess the ghost that's inhabited, or the ghost that is, I guess, technically a part of the prison, it confronts her and basically like asks her to. I think he's the one that asked her to like form the football team. So it's after this that Panty decides to form form a football team with all the other female prisoners. But once they start the game, well, of course the game is like against a bunch of dudes. So Panty eventually kind of gives in because she's been, I guess, sex deprived for so long, so she can't go through with actually like winning the game. And eventually we find out the other prisoners, as well as like Stocking and the Demon Sisters, like they were also like bribed or promised things if they were sort of to throw the game. And this is eventually like when they eventually decide to work together regardless and actually try to win the game. And the whole time this has been happening, there's been like some unseen thing sort of like observing them, and it has some kind of like, I don't know, bitch gauge. So I guess the more they get along, or the more the gauge goes down. So once it goes all the way down, the ghost eventually like reveals itself and tries to, I guess, deal with Panty and Stocking by by like directly like confronting them. But of course the ghost ends up getting defeated.
And of course then by the end, the Panty and Stocking's team end up winning the football game, and I guess they're all acquitted by some weird reason.
I mean, I don't really try to follow any kind of logic with most of these episodes. It's pretty much just an excuse for like these comedic skits to happen.
Yeah, I mean, the episode was all okay. It's just weird to me that, well, okay, so the first half of the episode, like, it was weird for me to believe, like, that the Angel Brothers would just suddenly just come back after that, after that plot heavy episode last week, and then just not follow through with their. I don't know if like they were looking to get.
Well, we still don't really even know what their whole plan is, or what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, they're the only reason why they were even there was just, I guess, just to become a nuisance for the sisters, but it didn't really seem to be that way. They were just mostly hanging out with Garterbelt and the others for some period of time before they get to Casino City and then fight off the ghost here and there. But yeah, it's just I don't know. It just seems weird that there was just no actual real follow-up with what the Angel Brothers were trying to do.
Yeah, we've kind of gone back to the episode just being different skits.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm fine with. I mean, the last episode, I guess, was sort of like presented us with somewhat of an overarching plot, but also introducing the brothers, and then they show up in this episode. But of course, there is no follow-up to what was brought up in the last episode.
Oh yeah, well, speaking of the brothers, you did notice that they kind of updated the opening sequence in which they added the brothers into the opening.
I did, yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, and plus, like, they kind of added the brothers into the ending song too. So yeah, I don't know. I did like the brothers in the last episode. I don't know. I really feel like that, they're going to continue along with they're going to continue along with these, like, weekly short skits per episode before we get into like a plot heavy episode, maybe near, like, maybe somewhere maybe around the penultimate or maybe the finale episode.
Yeah, most likely. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent episode for the most part. I mean, at least it was 2 skits this time, because I feel like, I don't know, I think that those episodes are better with just having at least just at the most like 2 skits, as opposed to like episodes where they try to like sort of cram in 3 skits, because I mean, some of them are fine even though they're shorter, but I kind of prefer like when they're a little bit longer, since they don't really feel like as quite as random. And I don't know, I think this episode was better just because it was only just 2 skits instead of like trying to have 3. But yeah, I don't have much else to say about the episode, though. I don't know if you have anything else to say about it.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's an okay episode. Kind of weird on them trying to follow up on the Angel Brothers by bringing them back without any real. I don't know. It's just, it didn't really like it had any actual follow up in what happened in the previous episode. But yeah, it was okay for the most part. But it's not as like crazy as like all the other skit episodes. Like, what was it, that Barbara skit, or that, what was it, that Fast and Furious skit that they did a few weeks back. But yeah, it's Yeah, I mean, it's more I would say, like, kind of get used to back to the, old, weekly skit sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, but that all being said, until next time, we will see you all later.